It's that time again. I am going to share with you my autism and anxiety vlog. I missed last week because it was really bad. And I think every video I tried to make, I cried. I was rather upset and just upset. So today, I want to talk to you about something that it's bothered me my entire life. It has to do with anger, but also has to do with just the focus on unimportant things, which is more of the autism part of it. For me, a couple of years ago, my wife and I were having a discussion about what we were going to feed the childcare kids. And somehow it got to the point where I was arguing with her about bologna. Oscar Mayer bologna. Yes. As I said, bologna. I insisted that there was a thicker bologna versus a thinner bologna. And there was, because I checked again, because for weeks after it was, there it is, there's the thin bologna. But I was so upset that she said, no, they're all the same, which is really just a simple thing. I should have said, okay, yeah, right, I know there's a difference, but I'll show you later on, it's not a big deal. But for me, I made the biggest deal about bologna and how it was thick and thin. And what I did with this bologna, I took out the thick bologna and I showed it to her and I threw it out the window in the kitchen and bent our blinds. And thinking back, I go, why was I stupid? Why did I do that? I was basically arguing with myself. She wasn't saying anything. She just knew I was having a meltdown or I was breaking down and losing it because I was complaining about, upset about bologna. For these kind of situations, a lot of people don't understand that one little thing can cause everything to just break down. Last night, for example, my wife came home from an HOA meeting. She's on the board, and she started talking about one thing. And even now, these issues I'm aware of, I still have problems with. And she said something about how the board didn't do something and said something, and I heard it as, we're going to do the same thing as the other board did, which we didn't like. And I became just so irrationally irritated about the fact that one thing was said, one little thing, something about parking, and I was just mad. And I yelled at my wife, and I feel horrible. And I ended up just going upstairs, took a shower, got in bed, just laid there. And eventually, maybe an hour later, or I guess a half hour later, I talked to my wife and said sorry, and everything was better. Because I explained, I was able to stop and think about what I was saying, what I was doing, and why I was saying it. And it still bothered me inside. It still bothers me inside now why that I did that, and those feelings I had when I yelled at my wife and got upset at my wife for about absolutely nothing important. And that's part of the autism. People that have autistic traits, or have autism, or on the spectrum, whatever you want to call it, Asperger's, or I think years ago they called it retardation. I'm not sure what they call it now. If generally it's under the autism umbrella. When you see people getting upset about something small like that, even if you totally disagree or agree, just let it go. Don't argue with the person, because it only makes it worse. It only makes it worse. A lot of times, just let the other person go away, think about it, and come back. With kids, maybe it's a little harder. I don't really know, but for me, I had to walk away last night. If I had known what was going on with me prior, if I had understood what was going on a couple of years ago, I would have never thrown the bologna at the window and broken the blinds. I'd bent, a good section of them, bent them in half by throwing it was frozen bologna, because I had it in the freezer. So be aware of that does happen. and it's not always something that can be controlled. It's something that can be taught. Usually, you teach the person how to recognize when something is not right, when something is upsetting them, when it's not really something to be upset about. It's like being upset because the label on a jar is partially off. That could be something that someone could get upset about. Please understand that there's moments in life, and we all do that. There's also moments where those with autism will freak out or get upset or get overwhelmed or get scared, irritated, angry. For me, I get angry and it's not fun. So that's what I want to talk about today, that these things do happen and they happen regularly, and that anger is a large part of it. I become angry and frustrated because I can't seem to get my point across. That I guess that's what it is for some reason in my brain, I can't get my point across, and I have to insist that the other person understands exactly what I'm saying and accepts it, and that's just the way it is. It's not that I feel my opinion is better than someone else's, it's just that my brain says, you gotta make sure they know this information. And yes, there's thick bologna and thin bologna, but it's really not something to worry about. So, that is me for the day. That's my anxiety vlog, autism vlog. I'm having a better week this week, except for the lack of work, so we have no childcare kids. But other than that, I'm doing okay, other than last night. So that's it for now. I'll see you in another week, and look forward to hearing your comments, or maybe you can laugh at me about the bologna issue. Yes, seriously, laugh at me, because I was being stupid. My brain was being stupid. And that's it. Have a good day.